Esipenko played a stunning move in this position in his game against Sergei Karyakin in the World Rapid Championship in 2017. Can you find out the brilliancy that Andre Esipenko unleashed here? This was a game that Shant Sargsyan played in 2022 BL Chess Festival. His opponent was 2514 rated. Can you find out the move that Sargsyan played here? Black has just played knight to e7. Have some thought, take a few seconds, and try to calculate what move could be played in this position. Feel free to pause the video and find out. If you found out, please leave a comment in the comment section. The move that Sargsyan played here was knight takes e5. It's a long line of calculation involved, right? So knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes. The queen cannot take back because of bishop c3. Knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, and rook takes knight. So before queen c3, rook takes knight. And after queen takes, queen check, he had a winning pawn in game and he went on to win this game. This was a game that Pragnananda played against Jeffrey Zhang from USA. You can have a look at this position. Black has just played f5. Can you calculate the next sequence of moves that Pragnananda is going to play? Queen h7 is of course required after king f8. Bishop h6, also very natural. You cannot take the knight because then we give checkmate. But queen g8. Here again you have to pause. Opponent has defended well and the knight is still hanging. What would you do here in this position? Prag played queen takes g6, sacrificing the knight. His idea was queen check, king e7, and bishop takes bishop. The queen cannot take back because of rook h7. He went away, and after check and bishop takes pawn, Prag went on to win the endgame. Nihal was playing this game against Manuel Petrosian, who was 2638 rated. And in this position, Manuel has just played knight to h5, putting pressure on Nihal's f4 pawn. If you defend with the rook, black would again put pressure on the pawn and it would be indefendable. Can you find out what Nihal played here? Nihal played knight g5, allowing knight takes pawn, but his plan was just to attack the knight. The knight has to go back, but now comes the strike. What can white do? Feel free to pause the video. The move played by Nihal was rook takes knight, pawn takes and knight e6. So Nihal gets back the exchange and the black king is the one who was coming out of this with no safety. Queen f7, queen e3, threatening rook e7. Rook f8, rook e7. Queen f4, rook check, king moves, takes, and Nihal went on to win this rook endgame. A few more moves happened, but here Manuel resigned. Andre Esipenko played a stunning move in this position in his game against Sergei Karyakin in the World Rapid Championship in 2017. Can you find out the brilliancy that Andre Esipenko unleashed here? He played the unbelievable queen to b3. The knight was already hanging, but now he has put the queen on pre. Of course, the pawn can't take it because knight b3 mate. So Sergei took on c3, queen takes back, bishop b2, takes, queen check, rook blocks, knight c2, queen is forced to give itself away, and Andre is up by a queen for a bishop and knight. But it doesn't end here. White played pawn b6 to develop the bishop, but Andre continues, Esipenko continues with b5. Why b5? After pawn takes, rook d4. And Karyakin resigned here because mate is unavoidable. The pawn can't move, and rook a4, rook a2, or queen a2 is going to be checkmate. Hans Neiman has been recently in the news for cheating allegations against him by indirect allegations by Magnus Carlsen. And the whole chess world went into a frenzy or more of a witch hunt. Some favoring Hans Neiman, saying there's no proof of him cheating, and some saying his mannerisms, expressions, everything points to him cheating occasionally. And also, he admitted to online cheating like twice in the past. So, amidst all the drama, let's have a look at this game between him and Vincent Kramer, another young player who's also in the list, in the top 10 juniors list. Here, you can see that Hans Niemann is trying to push his pawn forward. But Kramer has just played f5 and he's preparing g4, g3. And if you push the pawn, there is knight e5 and the pawn is, sorry, if you push the pawn, pawn takes, promotes, pawn push, that's anybody's game, right? So Hans Niemann in this position just played knight takes g5, ending the game instantly. Because what happened next was knight takes knight and the pawn just pushed. And now there is no counterplay for black and white is just completely winning.